Hello, we're going to look at the Topic 8 project, the Smith family's trip to Myrtle Beach. And it talks about Mr. and Mrs. Smith are looking at the expenses for themselves and their 3 children. So we have 5 total people in this family from their vacation from Myrtle Beach last spring, and the table shows the total cost of each expense of their trip. So that means for their trip, their rental car cost a total of $500. Their airline tickets were $875 for the 5 people in the family. Hotel was $400, baseball game and souvenirs were $105, movie theater was $75, pizza parlor $37.50, sandals, t-shirts $110. We've got an aquarium, different places they've gone. So these are all totals of what they spent. So they told the Smith children that if they had that much fun going and they're begging to go back, if they could use the list of expenses and associated costs from above to answer the following questions, then their family could take another trip to Myrtle Beach for spring break 2020. Can you help the Smith children get back to the beach? So then it says for each of the 12 questions below, write and solve an equation using algebra. This means that I must see a variable and I must have an equation that you're then going to solve. And that will help you retrace the exact expenses for the Smith's trip to Myrtle Beach last spring. You must show all of your work on paper, and when you looked at this online, it was bright yellow. It was hard to miss. For each question using algebra and then showing how, and right here it says, including variables, and then you're going to take a picture of your work at the end and paste it into the last box in the submission sheet. If you do not show all work for each question, you will not receive any credit. And so when you look at your scoring rubric, it shows you that if you don't have the work, you don't get credit for it. So the first one says, one evening, Mr. Smith, Sam, and Sydney. So we have Mr. Smith, Sam, and Sydney. So we have 3 people. And those 3 people went to see the Myrtle Beach Pelicans game. They each bought a ticket to the game, and they also bought a hat that cost $10. So I know the cost of the hat is $10, and it says they each got one. So right there I can think that's 10 times 3. Then it says how much was each ticket to enter the game. Let T represent the cost for each ticket. Well, here I knew the price of the hat. I don't know the price of the ticket, and I need 3 of those. So 3 times the cost of a ticket plus 3 times $10 for each hat. And then to find out how much I spent, I go back up here and I can see, oh, the baseball game and souvenirs, those were $105. So my equation is going to say it's equal to $105. Now what we should see on your separate piece of paper and the work that you include is how you solved this. So this is 3t plus 3 times 10 is 30. I'm going to subtract 30 from both sides. So from the $105 I spent, if I take out the amount that I spent on the hats, I will find out how much I spent on tickets. Well, I spent $75 on tickets, but I didn't just buy 1 ticket for $75. I bought 3 tickets for $75. So the last step that I need to do is I need to divide by 3, and that will tell me that each ticket costs $25. So over here I would say that it was $25 per ticket. So this is what this should look like. I should see this equation, I should see this answer, and I should see this work. If you wanted to type it in, I would have taken that, but I should see it on your paper typically, and then you've made a picture and inserted that at the end of your project. Going on to the next one, it's talking about the rental car. So if I flip back over here, not to make you dizzy, but if I look at the rental car, I spent $500 on the rental car. So I know the total cost of my rental car was $500. And then you think, well, how did they get to that? So it says they rented 1 car for 5 days, and the car cost a certain amount each day, plus a one-time insurance fee of $50. So this is a one-time fee. That means it's a constant. So I'm just putting $50 there. And it was a positive 50, and then there's some cost C that represents the daily cost of the car. So I pay C dollars per day, but I didn't just have it for 1 day, I had it for 5 days. So again, I'm going to solve this, and this is what I should see on your paper. So they spent $450 renting the car after the insurance came out, but that was for 5 days. So for 1 day, it was $90. So $90 per day is what I should see there. Our next one is talking about the movie theater. And so my movie theater, you can look on here, I'm like movie theater, up $75. So that means that I spent $75. It says one rainy day, the entire Smith family went to watch the movie. So that is 5 people. That's the entire Smith family. That is 5 people. They went to watch a movie in the afternoon, and then they went back to watch another movie in the evening at the local theater. The price for an afternoon movie is different than the price for an evening movie, which matinees are cheaper. The tickets for the afternoon movie cost $6 each. Well, that means for the afternoon movie, I got 6 tickets, or I got $6 tickets rather, for 5 people. So if I got $6 tickets for 5 people, that means I spent $30 for the afternoon movie, but I need to figure out, well, what did I spend at the evening movie? So it says let E represent the cost of one evening ticket. Well, I needed 5 of them, so if that's 1 ticket, there's 5 of them. When I subtract out the $30 that I spent on the afternoon movie, I find out how much they spent for all the evening tickets, but I bought 5 of them, and I want to know how much it is for just 1 ticket, which would be $9 per ticket. In the evening. You are more than welcome anytime to pause this and kind of re-look at something if you have any questions. Next one is the pizza parlor, and at the pizza parlor we spent $37.50. That one right there. So I know that my total bill for the pizza parlor was $37.50. So it says for dinner one night, the Smith family went to the local pizza parlor. We got the entire Smith family. That is 5 people again. And it says the cost of soda was $3. If each member of the family had a soda, so that means $3 times 5 people, and they had 2 slices of pizza. So they didn't just have 1 slice of pizza, they had 2 slices of pizza. But there wasn't just 1 person, there were 5 people. So if I had 5 people, each getting 2 slices of pizza, which is represented by my 2P, and then it was $3 for 5 sodas, so they spent $15 on soda, or pop, depending on where you're from. And then I had to buy 2 pieces of pizza per each for 5 people, so that's 10 total pieces of pizza. So then I would subtract $15, the cost of the soda from each side, because I want to know how much was it 1 slice of pizza. Then I'm going to divide by 10, and I find out that 1 slice of pizza costs $2.25. As you scroll down, the next thing they talked about was going shopping for some souvenirs. So it says that Miss Smith and Sophie went shopping at the Beach Hut. They bought a t-shirt for each member of the family. So if they buy a t-shirt for each member of the family, that's $5, or 5 people, so 5 t-shirts. And then they bought 2 pairs of sandals. It says that the sandals cost $10 each. So 2 times $10, and then it says, okay, let S represent the cost of 1 t-shirt. Well, I needed not just 1 of them, I needed 5 of them. And if I look over here, I can see that we spent $110 on t-shirts and sandals. So that means 5 times the price of the t-shirt plus $20 for the sandals was $110. So if I take out the price of the sandals, I find out how much they spent on t-shirts. And once I find out how much they spent on t-shirts, I can divide by 5 to find out that 1 t-shirt cost $18. So it was $18 per t-shirt. For their airfare, went too far there. Their airfare for their family, they spent $875 on plane tickets and fees. So that was their total cost for their airfare. So $875 was the total cost. And it says they took a plane and each person needed their own plane ticket. Obviously, 5 people, 5 plane tickets, right? Then it says plus they each had to pay $25 in fees for their luggage. So if P is the cost of the plane ticket, and then $5 times 25 for that pesky insurance, or for their luggage rather, sorry, for their each luggage, each piece of person for their luggage. I've got to solve this by subtracting out the cost of the luggage to help me figure out how much it's going to be. And that is for 5 plane tickets. So for 1 plane ticket, it's going to be $150. Our next question, the hotel, we had 4 nights on their trip. So it's not per person. If you think about that, you go to a hotel, you don't pay per person. The hotel charged a fee each night plus a one-time payment of $60 for tax. So remember that one-time payment is going to be a constant. It's just going to be $60. And then if we look over here, they paid $400 for their hotel plus their tax. That means we have a total of $400. And it was 4 nights on their trip, so H represents the cost of 1 night. Once I take out that tax and divide by 4, I get that it was $85 per night. Our last couple of questions here, I'm hoping we fit them all in, but at the end you should notice that it says insert a picture of your problem here. I'm going to write the equations for these last couple just to save time, and then you can try to solve them, and I'll put the answers in. It says the Smith family visited their aquarium, and the tickets for the adults and children are the same place. They have $12 each, so that's 5 times 12, and they were then given a certain amount of money to spend, just to Sam, Sophie, and Sydney. And let X represent the amount of money they got. So there are only 3 kids, and they each got the same amount of money. And our total for our aquarium, if you look back, is $105. So 60, that's the 5 times 12, plus 3x equals 105. Take out the cost of the tickets. And we find out that each kid got to spend $15. Our next one, we've got this one was a tough one, so was the next one, but they had to pay for parking, and they had to rent a beach chair. It says the parking fee was $10 for the day, and each beach chair cost $4. How much was the rental cost for each umbrella? So we have parking plus the chair plus the umbrella, and our total for that beach day is $70. Well, the parking fee, it says, was $10. The chairs were $4, and there were 5 people, so 5 times 4. And then we had 5 umbrellas, and that equals 70. So I have 10 plus 20 plus 5u equals 70. So 30 plus 5u equals 70 minus 30 from both sides. Divide by 5, and you find that it's $8 per umbrella. For our last one, we had $15 per each bike, and then we had per each person, it was $2.50 per hour. So we got $12.50 per hour and $75. And when we added those together, we got $135. And if you solve this, you get 4.8 hours.